What is a pre-approval letter? Why exactly should you get one? And what are the steps to getting one? Well, in this video, we're going to be talking about exactly that. Hey, I'm Tim the Loan Officer, and on this channel, we help first-time homebuyers confidently navigate the real estate and mortgage industry and ultimately help them get into their first homes. So, if any of that is of interest to you, definitely hit that subscribe button. Alright, so let's go ahead and tackle our first question, which is, what exactly is a pre-approval letter? The way that I like to explain it is, it's basically a letter that a loan officer gives you, and it shows you how much that you could borrow from that loan officer's company to buy a house. It's important to know that just because you get a pre-approval letter, it does not mean that you're guaranteed to get approved for a loan. But it is a great indication that that loan officer and the company is willing to work with you to get your loan, to get your house. So another way that I heard it explained is that it's kind of like getting permission to borrow money before borrowing it. But they still will need more information and details about you a little bit down the line during the process before you can get approved to get your money to buy your house. Some things that you can expect to be on a pre-approval letter are the maximum amount that you can borrow, the interest rate, and any other relevant terms and conditions. So with those things out of the way, let's get on to our next question, which is, why even get a pre-approval letter? So there are multiple reasons why you should get a pre-approval letter, but today I'll be sharing my 3 reasons why you should get one. And one reason is that it will help your realtor find your house more effectively. Because the maximum amount of money that you can borrow is shown on the pre-approval letter, the realtor can use that information to find houses within your price range and basically help you find houses that you can actually afford. So another reason why you should get a pre-approval letter is because it shows the realtor that you're actually serious about buying a house. Realtors don't want to waste their time with window shoppers, so most if not all of them prefer that their clients have pre-approval letters beforehand because it shows that they're actually serious about buying a home. And the last reason you should get a pre-approval letter is because the realtor will ask you to get one anyways. Because of the previous 2 reasons, a realtor is going to want you to have a pre-approval letter before you go and talk to them. Because if you don't, they're just going to ask you to get a pre-approval letter anyway. So it'll save you time, the realtor's time, and pretty much everyone in the process's time by thinking ahead and getting that pre-approval letter ahead of time. So those are going to be the reasons why you get a pre-approval letter, but let's get on to the juicy stuff. How in the world do you even go about getting a pre-approval letter? It might look a little bit different from loan officer to loan officer, but generally it's going to be the same. This is just going to be my step-by-step list. And that's all going to be started with step 1, which is gathering all your necessary financial documents. So here's some of the information that you'll need to provide the loan officer. It's going to be your income, your assets, debt, and expenses. Or, how I like to say it, IADE. Okay, just kidding. So a better way to remember it is AID. Another way to remember it is, in order to get a pre-approval letter, you need to provide the loan officer with AID. Along with AID, the loan officer may need a couple other relevant financial documents. So the documents that you're required to provide can vary from person to person depending on if you're a veteran or not, if you have self-employed income versus W-2 income, and so on and so forth. But these are going to be the documents that I generally recommend and suggest that you have before talking to the loan officer. And those documents are your previous year's tax returns, W-2s, last 2 months of bank statements, last 2 months of pay stubs, and your ID. Now moving on to step 2, which is finding a lender to work with. I would go out there and find a company or specific loan officer that you want to work with, that has a good reputation and that you can trust, and go ahead and get a pre-approval letter with them. So there are a lot of great loan officers out there, so I suggest going to family and friends who've bought houses in the past and asking their recommendations. Whatever company or loan officer you decide going with, what really matters in the end is that you trust the company or loan officer and that you're comfortable with the deal that you're getting. So step 3 is pretty simple, which is filling out the loan application and submitting the documents that we've gathered up in step 1 and submitting them along with any other required documents required by the company or loan officer that you decide to work with. Now, the 4th and final step in this process is going to be waiting for the pre-approval decision. This process can take 24 to 48 hours, sometimes even faster, but if you are approved, that pre-approval letter will be sent your way with the amount of money that you're able to borrow with the conditions that apply. Now, this is an example of what a pre-approval letter could look like. So just to reiterate, a pre-approval is not a guarantee that you will get a loan, but more so of an indication that the company is willing to work with you and let you borrow their money based on the financial information that you gave them. So the lender will again review your loan application and documents that you provide and determine from there if you actually qualify for the loan. If you want to get a pre-approval letter with me, then don't hesitate to DM me on any of my socials, send me an email, or click the link down below to my Linktree and get a conversation started. Now, if this is your first time buying a house, definitely check out this video. You're not going to want to miss it.